Welcome back. This evening we talk to Lloyd Sikeba, a youth leader and professional speaker with a diverse portfolio that includes being a TED speaker, writer, effective coach, and mentor to boys and men. He recently did a TEDx talk titled "Finding a Balanced Approach is Key." In this compelling talk, Sikeba explores the path to harmonious coexistence between men and women, emphasizing empowerment for the boy child. It's more than just a talk, it's a movement toward positive change. He now joins us to share more on the idea of shaping a balanced and inclusive future for all. Lloyd, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Nina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Lloyd, can you elaborate on the key points from your TEDx talk titled "Finding a Balanced Approach is Key"?
Thank you very much. So the key talks within my TEDx talk were basically 5, or should I put them into 4? I'll just explain them. Number 1, which is IQ, which is intelligence quotient. 2, EQ, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. AQ, which is adversity intelligence. And then USV, which is unconditional social validation. That was what my talk was surrounded about. And then seeing how this plays a role within today's society, how it blends in within men and women, and where it's seen more stronger, and where it's seen a bit less strong, and how we can balance it more like a seesaw.
And what specific insight did you share about fostering harmony between men and women in society?
Sorry, excuse me?
My question was, what specific insights did you share about fostering harmony between men and women in society?
The specific insight that I provided was the view that we all need to learn to celebrate each other's heights and learn to appreciate each other within our ups and lows. When someone rises, we need to learn how do we appreciate them. How do men learn to appreciate women when they're at their top? And how do women learn to appreciate men when they're at their top? More of like to coexist with each other.
Mm-hmm. And how do you address the empowerment of men and the boy child in your talk?
The address to the men and the boy child within my talk is that I looked at how in today's society it is evident. Number 1, you see that the boy child has been left out in terms of their intelligence. The boy child is not being involved in terms of their academics. And no one out there is speaking about this or dragging or putting the boy child similarly to how it's seen on the girl child. And also this is also their point of emotional intelligence and caution. Because once a boy child does not understand how to address their emotions, the way they address society might be in a violent perspective. And very sad enough is that today we see in society and in the world that there are a lot of young boys, and it's currently a joyous moment that there are a lot of talks that are coming about men and boys to speak about the emotion, but no one is addressing how they should speak about the emotions and to what extent. And then the other one is the AQ, which is adversity. Obviously, there is a place where they come from, their upbringing, something that might have made them to become who they are and what they are now. Because growing up, I was told this is what a man is supposed to do, and in the dynamic shift that we live in now, identity in terms of roles and specific things that men used to do back in the days have changed. Now there's a crisis within identity. Henceforth, it's hard for a boy child to find identity within himself. Henceforth, sometimes they can't even address society well. And this is what I address in my talks and tell them that, look, you are enough. You're capable of being a better version of yourself. You need to find that better version by identifying those mini bits. And how do you find those mini bits? Is diving into depth conversations to finding self, to finding identity.
Mm-hmm. Lloyd, what ways do you suggest then one can turn these insights into actionable steps for positive change?
To bring this into actionable steps, the one most important thing that needs to play up is that everyone needs to become a parent, and we shouldn't belittle the mere fact that to give an imbalance in terms of gender role identity or in terms of appreciation. Whatever is done to the girl child, let it also be done to the boy child. Because when I teach a boy child about sanitary pads, about how to take care of a female, it births upon a society where women can feel safe in a space that they know that their brothers, men out there who are capable of protecting them, standing with them in that society, and actually to uphold them for the right cause of improving the world that we live in, rather than looking at them as a threat. Because it is evident today, look into the streets, the number of boys that you find is high compared to a number of females that you find. And this is why I say that we need to play much more of these roles and help improve them.
Yeah. Well, Lloyd, just finally, what impact or influence do you think this talk can have as a movement toward a positive change?
First of all, to begin, the impact it can have is not one that is central on one gender, but is an impact that can help grow a nation and a world and a world in the future whereby we understand how to coexist with each other with a dynamic shift of how things are moving, and also to give a relation to understand that this is where I stand, this is what I can do, how can I help the next person stand better, grow better at whatever point they find themselves in, and also to appreciate one another. Because in a world where, as in, women are empowered, of which I love and vouch for, we need to understand that if a boy child does not understand how to appreciate that and acknowledge that, and also for women to actually understand how do we uplift the boy child that is not learned or that is left behind, we then live in a crisis as a whole. And then this crisis still stumbles down the whole equilibrium. This is why I say that finding a balance, like a seesaw, there is no balance, but there is the possibilities of understanding each other's joy. Like when kids are playing, one goes up, the other one laughs, and the other one needs to find a way to also see that the other one goes up. But if there is only one person up, the one at the bottom, once they leave from the seesaw, the effect that is on top, when they hit the bottom, it has a large impact. And that is what I speak and avoid to ensure that we don't have that in the future.
Well, Lloyd, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the Daily Roundup. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
That was Lloyd Sikeba speaking to us on the line. When we come back, we speak on the City of Windhoek's New Year fire display and basically event taking place with Sili Kapolo. Stay with us.